Right. Whether people believe in synchronicities or signs and symbols from spirit or the universe, or however anyone connects to greater energies that are enveloping and circling us at all times, is not my concern. I just get asked to share certain things and I listen to the signs, and if things keep going over and over, that I know is not like an obsessive and an over-analytical thought in my brain, it's me Inspector Gadget mode, like thinking, oh my god, that's weird, oh my god, that's weird, like linking all of the dots. So did this channeling for 1111, whether anybody watched it or not, don't really need to know about it for this video. And pre-channel was like in meditation, just so I can cleanse the energies before I do like a collective thing, as most people know. I wrote some names down. I don't know anybody by any of the names that came up, and anyway, so I went to a place today, and I didn't really want to go out because I knew it was going to rain, and I got something yesterday, and I thought, all right, just go today. So I go to the place. I've got my beats on my phone, my reggae, like, you know, doing my little fairy stuff. And some woman, I didn't realise she was kind of watching me, and I walked down and she's like, hey, you're in good mood, good spirits, aren't you? I was like, yeah, just loving. She's like, loving life. I said, yeah. You know, it's a good vibration. And anyway, we got chatting for a little bit, kind of went back and forth. She showed me something, and then anyway, and the reason I bring it up is because, so this is where you can start to identify ancestors speaking in new lands, and also like our own past lives. I know I've been a tribesman before. That wasn't a reason why I'm in Kenya at the minute. However, there are some strange realizations that have happened once I stepped foot on this land. And, you know, like learning about the tribes and the Giriyama and the Lua, and a few of them I can't always remember the names of them. And so moving back to this woman, we were just chatting about a lot of different things. Anyway, I asked her name, and she's like, Angela. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting, because I was doing the channel reading on Monday, and Angela was the first name that came out. Obviously, I need to track Angela Science Super Crew, but, you know, I don't know any Angelas to my recollection. No one I know these days, so that was quite interesting. Also, not met any other Kenyans called Angela, so I was like, all right, that's quite interesting. And then as we were talking about other stuff, and I was like, are you Lua? And she's like, yeah. And the reason is so interesting that when I came from the coast to see my friends, who met back in London like 7 years ago, I forgot that they were Lua, and when I came back, they reminded me very quickly that they were Lua. And there's just been like this interlinking of, I don't know if it's because my name's Victoria, obviously Lake Victoria, and they're from that region, and also up to the Egyptian kind of Nile, and then obviously I was talking about the crocodile and the Nile and everything of the day, and past life stuff's coming up quite big at the minute anyway for a lot of people. I'm not the only one by any means. And for me, that is an amazing. I feel very, very honoured and privileged that I get to interact on a funny, cute level with another woman. When we're, you know, our mother tongue's not the same. Our in this lifetime, our lives are very different. We had a laugh, and clearly I was some form of confirmation, or so I had a message to give her. because there's no other reason why really we're channeling the name Angela. And then 2 days later had this, a really interesting chat with her. And also, I've got a connection to water. Fish is just something that's been with me since birth, and I know that I've been connected in that way in past lives without going into too much detail. And the lure of fish folk. And so just find that all quite interesting. And I think if all of us stay in our lane rather than get involved in other people's business and worry about what everyone else is doing, and just really start to meditate and tap in and write down random things, and then which they realise in the end are not random. You look back at notes you've taken in meditation or in ceremony, and things come back around in the form of a human. It might be delivering a message in front of you, 606, 66. And it's hard to sometimes keep track, because I've got many things come through, as a lot of readers do. When you're a channel for spirit, benevolent, loving, kind ancestors that are here to support the healing of the nations, we are all vessels for these messages, and I trust they're in our highest interest and can provide us with what we need to move us forward on our path, because I believe it's already been written. And I think we can influence things, but I think we end up where we're destined to be. And there's no one way of doing anything. There's no one way of reaching anywhere. The destination is never the point. We just move forward how we move forward. One step forward, 2 steps back sometimes, but the motion is forward ever. And so, without jibber jabbering, because as I open this portal, my mouth, which I haven't been talking for 5-6 hours, other things want to come through. So I just wanted to keep it short and just say, where there are synchronicities, where you find things that amuse you, that you think, oh God, that's interesting. All right, perhaps some people might say, oh, it's just a coincidence, and poo-poo it. We know what we know. We have to really listen and trust our inner voice, inner guidance right now. We know what we know. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, says. Who gives a shit? They clearly got too much time on their hands if they're worrying about what you and I are doing. Why don't they want to connect with their ancestors? Why don't they want to focus on their own lives? Why don't we start asking those questions? Why are you so bothered about other people and other people's moves? Just tap into your own stuff, and then you don't get distracted. We don't externalize as much. We don't bother to worry about things that are not in our control, especially when they're negative comments or judgments or opinions from other people. We know the relationships that we put love into. We know the relationships that we cultivate with our full heart, conscious mind over the years. And those come reason, season, lifetimes. It's the law of a sister of mine. I love it when something happens to both of us, actually, and she was like, well, it's a good reminder of the law of impermanence. And I was like, you know what? One, grateful to be riding with a soldier, SOULDIER, that speaks on that level. Divine mirror that can tell me, let go. Relationships, some of them are not destined to last more than one encounter, a month, a year, 2 years. Time is irrelevant, it's an illusion. We get the lessons that we need in this lifetime, 944. And we are all here as divine messages and portals to other realms. This is why it's really important we're mindful of who we spend time with, especially if we're doing any form of psychoactive whose company you're in. Really got to be careful. You've got no idea who they're connected to, what ancestors they have done, any of that energy. You've got no idea. You think someone's healed and they're leading someone else into ceremony, and you know that person's got this and this issues, and they haven't healed it in themselves, and that they're leading someone else into ceremony. No. It's all got 122 on the clock. It's all got bananas. We focus on our own healing, on our own path, and don't play into any of this guru bullshit, which is kind of dead now anyway. We're all self-healers. We can all have a laugh and spread and share good energy together when we come together in groups, concerts, gigs, little sharing poetry evenings, however, on the beach, in the water. But this is our journey. And so for me, nobody else is going to notice these synchronicities of the connection to the Lure or Lake Victoria or, the various things like that, because they're not me. I share as a storyteller. I've got a few stories in my time, I'm 40 next year, so I'm not a spring chicken, even though I feel it, which I think I said before. And we just got to play. We've got to play. We're all little children trying to discover this bigger meaning of ourselves, when actually, there's no meaning. We just add the dots up. We follow the trail, the breadcrumbs, Hansel and Gretel, and see where it leads. Hopefully not to a dodgy cottage in the woods. Maybe a nice cob hand-built place would be nice. But we just go with the flow. There's no real destination. This is what we've got to master. Because ultimately we can be in any environment and still be in paradise. It's just, obviously we desire, and our physical world, physical reality will reflect where our mind is at. So if our mind is in paradise, because we know how far we've come and how many silent victories we have won, which we don't need to share with everybody. I've shared a lot on this channel, and people are like, I should share it for. Mate, it's like 2% of what goes on in my brain, in my life, and in the now. Voices from spirit. So it's time we all expand together. Past lives are real and important. Visions can come to us through a whole host of in different ways. And it's a big full moon this week. Maybe this will be the activator for you, should you so desire. For us, and I don't like using the word you on this, because I'm a we, I'm a Ubuntu, we're in this together. We've all got our own little takeaways to package in our bag and then hop on the horse and go. I don't know why I'm talking in all these weird metaphorical past lifey stuff at the minute, but it's just what's coming through. And I give thanks to the ancestors of this land, because that is confirmation for me today that who I've been speaking to, what I've been saying, the beautiful souls that I've been connecting with, I feel very welcomed, I feel respected, and that is the energy that I will maintain here from me, as well as emitting love and respect to whoever I encounter. Because what I seeks me is vibrational match, and anything that is not of pure loving intention, that don't come 10 foot within me, nowhere near me, not anymore, not now. I know what I know, and I think we can all reach the point where we've really learning out to regulate our emotions. And I'm not saying we're not going to cry on a camera, or we're not going to feel things, This is empath life. We just get over it. We learned this is who we are. We're not ashamed of anything. We're not embarrassed of anything. This is it. It's what we signed up for. We signed up for the contracts before we come to this realm. And this is our time. A lot of us were never meant to know our purpose or figure ourselves out until much later on in life. And I'm one of them. So for all of us soldiers that are finding our truth, our voice, after many years of awkwardness and lack mentality and feeling lost and we didn't belong, that's all disintegrating. And very pleased that I have a confirmation. I've had a little hello from the ancestors of this land, and I'll continue my bit to spread love and joy.